Hi and welcome to RC Copter. In January I was making a video about how much backwards flying was helping me to improve. I found then that it was incredibly important, especially if you want to go inverted, because you learn the thinking of inverted flying in backwards flight. And now, meanwhile, I found, and I wanted to share this with you in January, I give a link to this video in the description. And now I found something new, which is maybe even more important for me and gave me more even. It is the fact that I found that very slow and controlled flying, keeping the speed steady, constant, trying to keep the altitude constant, the radius of a circle, for instance, is, in my opinion, much more difficult than flying fast and furious, because they don't have to control the helicopter all the time. I was explaining my dear wife. She's taking this video as always, and I thank you very much, my dear wife, and I love you. I was explaining her that helicopters are having the temperament of a racehorse. Whenever you tilt the helicopter, you tilt him in the front, for instance, to take up forward speed, you tilt him to the side, the helicopter wants to fall down. It's just a matter of gravity. If the centrifugal force is not enough, the helicopter wants to go down and forward, in forward flight, for instance, taking this example, and the helicopter becomes faster and faster. So if you want to really fly a circle with not a lot of lean angle, of course, because of the low speed, you have to all the time somehow brake the helicopter. You have to slow it down. You give up, nose up input. And if you want to do this in a smooth way, it needs a lot of control. Also, of course, the roll has to be controlled, and factors like wind have an effect. And the second thing I want to show you after this slow flying is that I found out it's very important to fluently change from, for instance, backward flight to forward flight. Because in forward flight, you are doing not exactly the opposite, but you are doing mainly the opposite of what you are doing in backwards flight. So, and when you are changing the directions in a fluent way, this is very, very difficult. And I was doing it for a couple of months in the simulator, because before I was trying it on the field, because it has to go fast and you have to change everything in your mind very fast. But it helps a lot because you get more used to this fast changing of the controls, of the inputs. But the best thing is to show you. So I do first a flight in which I show you this slow, controlled flying and as precise as possible flying. And then these transitions, forward flight, backwards flight. And you see how it works. And after this first demonstration, I show you how many new things I learned meanwhile in this time, since I decided I'm flying only the small helicopters to concentrate only on the progress. There will be some new things to see, and that will be the next flight video. In this video, the second flight. Okay, so let's fly. Let's begin with the as slow as possible forward flight. First, a circle in counterclockwise. You see that the helicopter was speeding up a little bit, and as soon as I was beginning to brake it, it was at once falling altitude, losing altitude. And this is something that long term I want to avoid. And I really tell you, try it once. And if you are, especially if you are, again, it was getting faster. It is so easy to speed this helicopter up. So, and now I show you what I meant. It is very difficult. No, I should continue the forward flight because I showed you in the flight. I will turn and change the direction. Now I changed the direction to backwards flight, but already the helicopter is rather all over the place. So now I'm explaining when I'm doing this alone, without talking, it is difficult, but it's easier. You see, and whenever something like this happens, better stop the exercise than to crash the helicopter. It happens very fast. We have a slight bit of wind. So this was, of course, not the good example. And you see also in this backward flight, the helicopter has the tendency to speed up very fast, or you over control, you stop backwards flying and start forwards flying instead. Now let's change the direction. This was clockwise, and now first, but you see it was already too fast. I hope my wife is on the Zoom and is able to follow the helicopter. Is it possible?
Yes.
Okay. So it takes really a lot of concentration, because when the helicopter is so slow, the effect of the wind is much stronger. So, and I hear that the battery is coming a little bit to the end, but I have a special battery inside this helicopter. So even if the counter is counting down, I continue to fly to at least show you one backwards circle. So let's ignore the timer sound, because I know I have more reserve with this battery, because it's a 750 battery. And the flight time is longer. And this is not looking spectacular at all. And I was now making a little bit trick, because it is windy. So try this, and then after this, try to come back to normal flying. And I really believe this will help you. So I'm also training something like this, that I try to land the helicopter in a controlled way, sideways. This was not very controlled because, as I told you, there is a bit of wind. Okay, and then will be the next flight with more expressive things. So this was not looking very spectacular, but believe me, if you try it, it is costing you a lot of concentration. So you have to be very, very focused, more focused even than if you are flying totally free, not taking care if you are 1 or 5 or 10 meters more left or to the right, if you are very fast. And of course, this is very much fun to fly around so fast, but it is, in my opinion, it helped me big time to control the speed, to try to control the altitude, to try to control the diameter of these circles. It was, of course, not ideal in my case, because there is some wind, and I'm, like you, training it. And now I show you how much it gave me in 3D flight. And very short word, in general, since I started to fly more inverted, I have the feeling that it gave me a lot in my normal upright flight. So I was thinking I would never start to fly light 3D. I'm not a 3D pilot at all, but I'm flying some 3D elements. But since I did this, my normal upright flying, scale flying, you can name it, was becoming better. And I hope you see it in this flight now. And now it's time for the fun. I think my wife will not be necessarily able to take a lot of zoom, but we can try it. So I try now to do new things. And one of these things is first backwards loops, combined with a small backward turn. So this is something I'm trying to train a lot, and I love it how it looks. It is not so easy. Oh, now we are too close. Okay, I'm going a little bit more away. I'm still not able to fly this out of a circle. So I'm doing it at the moment only from the left to the right, because I tried it sometimes the other way around. But now I think, my dear wife, now I think you can go on more zoom, because I am flying now inverted nose in. Cross your fingers that it works. I was flying away too far, and to hold this helicopter on one place is not easy, especially when there's, like in our case, almost every time a little bit of wind. So, and I would recommend you, I am doing it always this way, that I don't do this directly in front of me, because if something does not go really well, oh, I was looking for the orientations. So it is not easy when the camera is on me. It is much better when I do it alone and with even less wind. It was for me the most difficult thing. Nose in, inverted hovering. I was very much afraid of it. The good thing is, when you are doing it a little bit besides of you, you are not in danger. If you do something wrong, then the helicopter is not coming directly towards you. It is coming closer to you, but on the side. So these are things I'm doing now. I'm happy that these backward loops were somehow working. For sure, the helicopter was far away and almost invisible. And it's also very important to sometimes make landings from the side. It was horrible. Okay, this all was not very spectacular, but I tell you, I was training this all very long time. In general, from spring until now in the simulator, partly on the field. The more new things you are doing, the more confusion you have sometimes in your brain, especially in this changing the directions. It looks like for babies. But believe me, it's not easy. I would recommend you to try it. And I wanted to show you even more, but this backwards loop was for the moment enough. I'm trying now other things, going with front flips down and flying inverted, this kind of thing, or doing the same backwards. This will be stuff for next video. I will practice on this because today, to be honest, this all was not very perfect, but I'm happy that I did not crash in front of the camera. It's always, my wife is, I love my wife, but I know that something is recorded and this gives you some kind of pressure. You feel the camera and you know this thing goes public and then my flying is worst. And at least I will try. I have another couple of weeks and I will try. If you like this video, please write in the comments, what do you think about these suggestions, these exercises, if they help you. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. If you like it a lot, please give us a like and subscribe. And see you again on RC Copter. Bye.